Matt Gaetz is facing a surprise last-minute challenger in his Republican primary contest in Florida. Aaron Dimmock is going to be running against Matt Gaetz. He is being supported by former Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy and his allies, which, if you've been following Matt Gaetz, is not a surprise. Kevin McCarthy and Matt Gaetz hate each other's guts. And so this is exactly how this should have developed. Now, apparently they're going to be funding the campaign with putting a lot of money behind it. And they've got some time. The actual primary doesn't conclude until August 20th, which that just seems like forever from now. Matt Gaetz, not a fan of this guy. You'll be surprised to find out. But take a look at the particular attacks that he makes against this Republican. He says, meet Aaron Dimmock, the BLM supporting DEI instructor running against me in the Republican primary. I knew former Representative McCarthy would be getting a puppet of his to run. I didn't know it would be a woke Toby Flenderson. Oh, pop culture references. Anyway, he goes on to say, because he really thinks this is a great attack. He says, DEI Dimmock will find Northwest Florida quite unreceptive to his BLM enthusiasm. He's just doing like racist dog whistle anagrams. He's just switching which position DEI and BLM is in each sentence or whatever. And look, is Aaron Dimmock a good person? Probably not. He's friends with Kevin McCarthy. He's probably terrible. But the idea that he once, we go to graphic 4, like a couple of years ago, he retweeted something put out by the organization he worked for that said hashtag Black Lives Matter, or that he once put up a post, you can see it here. Again, he didn't put it, it was retweeting or whatever, relinking the organization he worked for saying that diversity and inclusion should be a priority. To Matt Gaetz, enough said. I don't care what this guy stands for. He says diversity isn't the worst thing ever, so he cannot be an elected representative. And I think, man, have we normalized a lot of horrible stuff, Ida, that we can get to the position where just having vague respect for diversity makes you unelectable. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the Damage Report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you.
Well, being on the side of being said diversity, having to sit with comedians, white male comics telling me, "Oh, you're in the position of winning. You can't get a special if you're not a person of color. We got to go to YouTube." Whereas if you look at statistics and you see that 90% of white men are still dominating comedy and are getting the specials, and the white men who run comedy have never, in that little micro space, knowing that so many people hijack those talking points to justify the fact that they're upset about not getting something because they're just mediocre. Mm-hmm. It is no surprise to me that is a talking point that gets people moving. Because a lot of mediocre people who are not hardworking and not doing what they need to do, who are white, are upset that they've had to share space with people who have to work twice as hard as them to get stuff. So no, it doesn't surprise me that, I told you, like I said at the beginning of the show, this bigotry that runs this country, it runs it. It is founded on it. It is in the walls of the building. It is in the people who are occupying the building. It is not gone anywhere. It is alive and well, and it is driving the car. So these people know that. They've been able to say, it's okay for you to say how you feel about these people. That's not being a bigot. That's telling the truth. 100%. You are, let it out. You deserve to let it out. You deserve to be heard. That is where we are now, folks. So now, all of those people that feel that way, and it's most of us, because the bigotry that lives in this country is embedded in the DNA of us all. It makes some of us people of color hate ourselves, and it makes the people who are not us hate us. It is alive and well, and now has a microphone. So these people know. They know. They're like, you know what? The reason you work at a mine, the reason you work at a factory is because these people of color have been taken over. They're taking what's yours. And it's a fire
that's
keeps growing.
That's what it is. I just have one more thing I want to say about this. Like the DEI thing is such a perfect updating of the pro-segregationist talking points of prior iterations of people like Matt Gaetz, because they can use it in two different ways. So when you have like a black mayor, he's a DEI mayor. Okay, yep. He shouldn't have been there. Again, black people can't be elected as mayors. If they are, it's because the system has been subverted in some way. But you'll notice, like, well, actually, most people probably don't know this. The guy he's running against is white. I would classify him as very, very white, actually. Aaron Dimmock. He's literally a friend of Kevin McCarthy. He's super white. And yet you can attack him with the DEI stuff. And you know why you say DEI? Because you're not supposed to call someone a race traitor anymore. But that's what he's doing here. He's a race traitor. He's a white person who likes those black people more. And Matt Gaetz, feel free to cry about this when I identify what you're doing. You're not supposed to call someone an N-word lover anymore. Decades ago, you would have done that. You, Matt Gaetz, would have done that. But now you don't do that because that's, I guess, a line that Donald Trump hasn't yet gotten you guys past yet. So instead, he's a DEI guy. He's one of those who likes those black and brown people, not good white people. He doesn't have our interest at heart. Instead, he's focused on those black and brown people. That's literally all this is. And I don't think the media is doing nearly enough to call it out. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?